This SUV TV broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic is brought to you by Atlanta Tip-Off Club, Nike, Ruth Nathans, Dribble Bridge, the Oaks Course, and CBA Sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third annual Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. We're inside the historic House of Blues on the campus of Norcross High School. Hello again, everybody. My name is Matt Mahoney. It's a star-studded event. We'll see McEachern take on Grayson here in one of the premier matchups of today's action. And we start with the stars here on the Game Day Live pregame set. To my right, Hawks-Naismith, and to my left, Raheem Bridgeforth. Horace, we'll start with you. Grayson, McEachern, how long have you had this game circled on your calendar?
I mean, it's a great matchup. You got some of the best players in the state in this game. You got Sharif Cooper. You got to think about it. They haven't lost the game in over a year.
No.
So when you think about McEachern, you think about Sharif Cooper, you think about how they've been able to develop over the last year, and they still haven't lost the game. Now, Grayson comes with some heat. Devon Smith, Caleb Murphy, Tenari Lane. They got a solid coaching staff, and they got a good bench. So I look for this to be a great game tonight.
Absolutely. We'll include you, Raheem, in this contest. We talk about McEachern and Grayson. McEachern's a defending 7A state champion. Grayson wants to say something about that tonight this season.
Yeah, but, if I'm McEachern, I'm a little insulted by the number 1 ranking. Like, you give these guys a number 1 ranking and we haven't lost in over a year. I feel like that has to be taken from us. So if I'm them, I'm proving today that we're number 1.
I'll include Norcross in this conversation. Who are the 2 best teams in the state of Georgia, regardless of classification?
Well, I'm somewhat biased because I'm a Norcross guy, because my son played here, but you can't root against McEachern. So I'm looking at McEachern Norcross as your top 2 teams in the state.
Those 2 teams met in the playoffs last year. What do you say?
I'm going to have to actually go with the 2 that's playing right now, Grayson and McEachern.
And if we jump into this contest even more, we've talked about it all day long, how teams are in region play and have played a lot of games this week. That's not the case for these 2 teams. You've got McEachern on a 13-day layoff until they played last night, and then you've got Grayson that comes in rested from Tuesday's match, but a loss on Tuesday versus Newton. How does that change the dynamic of this contest?
I think you throw that out the window. You're talking about 2 of the best teams. Whether I say Norcross is one of the best teams or not, talking about 2 of the best teams, throw that out the window. They're ready to battle tonight.
On the other side here, 2 coaches that know each other way too well. When you're so familiar with each other from a personality standpoint, how does that bleed out onto the floor?
Some people take it a little easy, but I'm going to come out fighting. I'm going to make sure my guys really take it to you, and we're going to play hard and win this game if I'm each coach.
Let's jump right into it here. McEachern wins tonight. Who's their star player that shines the brightest?
Well, Sharif Cooper is going to do what he does. But I think for them to win, Bobby Moore has to step up. And Bobby Moore has been consistent. We need a great game out of him in order for them to win.
I'll let you go the other side for Grayson. If Grayson wins tonight, who's the best? Who's the star that shines the brightest?
It's going to be a surpriser, but I'm going to go with Tenari Lane. I feel like he's the X factor.
And so we've got stars all over the place, 4 stars, 5 stars. We've got coaches with polos. We got coaches in quarter zip. People are hanging from the rafters here at the House of Blues. The energy and the excitement is electric right now. We wouldn't want it any other way for the Hawks-Naismith Classic. What does it mean for you with that family name to be sitting in this chair right now?
Well, I got to tell you, I want to know why I don't have a bow tie like my man right here. I need a bow tie like that.
I know some people. We talked to Ruth Mason. They're a sponsor. We'll hook you up.
Come on, we need a bow tie.
We'll hook
we
you up.
Need bow ties right now.
Here, man. We empty. We empty. What's it mean to sit in this chair as a fan of high school basketball in the state of Georgia?
Well, I just kind of feel like I would have been here anyway. Either I would have been commentating or I would have been right there in the stand. So I'm a fan.
You, along with everyone else that's in the city of Atlanta and North Georgia, has really converged here on Norcross's campus. This is the co-main event. We still got Norcross and Tucker after this, but as we get ready to wrap things up quickly, a key to the game, where is this game decided on the floor?
Well, I think in order for Grayson to win, they got to control the tempo. Sharif Cooper is one of the best at creating space and the best at creating opportunities for his teammates. They got to control tempo for Grayson. Grayson has to in order for them to win this game.
Yeah, the Auburn signee out of the Georgia top 25 class. He's going to have a lot to do with it. Give me a second key to this game. Where is this game dictated on the floor? How is it won?
I feel like Grayson is going to have to get off to an early start. If they don't get off to an early start, this could be a bad game. If you're a betting man, I feel like McEachern's going to win by more than 10.
In one word, who you got?
McEachern. I can't bet against him.
I'm going McEachern.
That's it for you here. That'll wrap things up from our Game Day Live set. Big thanks to our sponsors, Nike, Atlanta Hawks, Ted Nugent, our Ruth Nathan, as well as CBA Sports. We'll turn things over to our guys that are going to call the game for you. It's McEachern and Grayson coming up next on SUV TV's coverage of the 3rd annual Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic.
SUV TV broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic is brought to you by Atlanta Tip-Off Club, Nike, Ruth Nathans, Dribble Bridge, the Oaks Course, and CBA Sports.
We'll start with our visiting guest from McEachern. The Indians are coached by Mike Thompson. He's a 6'3" senior, a forward, wearing number 0, Israel Palmer. A 6'1" guard, a senior wearing number 2, Sharif Cooper. 6'4" guard, a junior wearing number 3, Cameron McDowell.
My notes set, Mark.
6'4" forward, a junior wearing number 10, Bobby Moore. A 6'1" junior guard wearing number 24, Devontae Brady. These are your Indians.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on the SUV TV from Norcross High School, where we have a barn burner coming up. The 9-1 Grayson Rams taking on the undefeated and defending 7A champion McEachern Indians. My name is Dwayne Walker, along with Horace Naismith and Mark Edwards. And guys, filled to the rims here at Norcross High School. And Mark, I'll begin with you. What are some of your expectations tonight?
This is going to be a preview of possibly a state championship game. This is going to be a high-scoring game. You're going to see the battle of elite high major point guards in DEVION Smith and versus Sharif Cooper. This is going to be a special game. This is the game that has the line wrapped around the building, out the door, and down the block. This is the place to be in Georgia.
And Horace, how about for you? Horace, can you tell me what's going to be the game within the game tonight?
Well, first of all, I think Grayson has to push tempo. Grayson and McEachern has to control tempo, right? So the keys to me internally with Grayson, Bobby Moore has to really step up. But Sharif's going to do what he does. Bobby Moore, I think, is the key for them to win the game tonight. And I think collectively as a group, Grayson has to be able to contribute collectively as a group in order to win this game. I'm a McEachern fan. I'm a Grayson fan. But I think whoever controls the tempo wins this game.
All right. So we'll go ahead and get the starting lineups for you. First for Grayson, they'll go with Caleb Murphy, along with Josh Smith, Devon Smith, Tanari Lane. Now the other side for McEachern, Israel Palmer, Sharif Cooper, Cameron McDowell, Bobby Moore, and Devontae Brady. Grayson will be wearing their white jerseys, green numerals. McEachern dressed in gold with green numerals. First attempt is good by Tanari Lane from the corner, and quickly it is 3-0.
If he gets hot early on this game, that'll be a game changer for Grayson.
Right to left comes Grayson. Correction is McEachern. Sharif Cooper has the basketball, working against Caleb Murphy. Jumps up in the air. Now they'll have the basketball in the corner. Going up with it and shooting off balance is number 24, Devontae Brady. And let's see what we have on the near side of the court. Simply out of bounds. So the basketball will turn back over to McEachern.
McEachern is definitely going to have to run their offense a little more smoother than what we've seen in the first possession.
Basketball in the corner. Going up with it is good. That's number 24, Devontae Brady. And it's 3-2. Smith with it along the left. Now give it up to Lane, who's hot. And he continues to be hot. Tenari Lane.
Let me tell you something. You can't leave Tenari Lane open to get his feet set, take his time. He's going to knock down shots all game.
And Tenari Lane, the 6'5 senior, shows fantastic leadership. He has all season long. Sharif Cooper with it.
Good extra pass. I like that.
They'll pop it in the corner. Off rim, no good. Back the other way comes Grayson.
That's going to be the McEachern's Achilles heel all year long. Finding someone that can hit a wide open jump shot when Sharif penetrates. That's going to be their Achilles heel.
Josh Smith on that last basket for Grayson, and it's 8-2. Going up, wheeling and dealing.
Cameron McDowell is one of those kids that could do that for him.
Dowell's on the board. He's got 2. 8-4 our score. 2 minutes gone. You're watching the 2019 Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here at Norcross High School. Dwayne Walker, Horace Naismith, and Mark Edwards. Shefflin in the middle. Good.
Cam McDowell's got to step over there. He's got to get in the middle of the paint on that specific play. They ran a simple horn set. He slipped it. That's an easy play. Easy two. They've got to get better help defense than that.
Yeah, McEachern, the head coach, is not very happy about that defensive sequence right there. Calls a timeout.
And ironic you mentioned that, Horace, because in speaking with Coach Mike Thompson before the game, he said quite flatly they're playing lousy defense and they need to improve on that into the floor. So I give him credit for even stating that.
The defense is a McEachern staple over the years. They've been a nationally ranked team each of the past 4 years. So they've made their legend, their name on the defensive side.
No Mark, you talk about national rankings. One team's in at number 3 and McEachern, number 18, Grayson, entering the week. How important are rankings at the end of the day?
It's a measuring stick for these kids. You want to give them something to look forward to. McEachern has taken on that challenge every single year, playing an elite schedule. And it gives these kids, some visibility from college coaches when they go to these elite events that they don't normally get just playing a regular high school schedule. So, I mean, it's a big thing. If it didn't mean anything, they wouldn't do it.
And they wouldn't be here.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of measuring stick.
Smith with it between his legs. Now he'll drive to the basket. A little hop step, right-handed shot is no good. Shefflin battles in after it along with Bobby Moore. Who are they going to give the basketball to? It's going to be an alternating possession. The arrow points towards McEachern.
They got to do a better job keeping him off the boards because he's going to really hurt them if he's able to just waltz in there untouched and without a physical play to keep him off the glass because he's a very good offensive rebounder.
Sharif Cooper with the basketball. Now they'll dump it in the corner. Now driving is Cameron McDowell. Jumped up in the air. And there's going to be a foul on the pass.
I think Cam McDowell is going to be the X factor for McEachern this game. There are games when he shows up and he shows out, but there are some games where he's kind of quiet. Depending on his production today, that might decide McEachern's fate here.
That foul went on DEVION Smith. That's his first team foul in the first half. And now Cooper loses control of the basketball. Here comes Smith. Smith will try from 14 feet away. He long-rimmed it. Cleared off by Palmer. Now he has it stolen away by Shefflin. In the corner, Lane. Too far. Offensive rebound by Smith. That three-point attempt by the other Smith, Josh Smith, was no good.
That was just ugly.
Cooper now pushing the pace. Now driving towards the bucket is number 24, Devontae Brady. And they're going to call a charge.
Definitely not a good call. He hit his outside shoulder on that play.
Well, at the same time, I'm not sure why. We talk about this all the time, kids not stopping and popping.
Yeah.
He had an opportunity to stop and pop without creating any contact. Yeah. I think he missed the boat on that one.
Caleb Murphy throws an errant pass, but it looked like Smith was held by Sharif Cooper. Cooper with the defensive back move there, a little tug on the old jersey just to slow up his momentum.
I love the fact that Sharif Cooper is taking on the defensive challenge of checking DEVION Smith. He's not ducking this competition. Usually we get a lot of duck season, a lot of guys, ducking competition. Sharif is stepping up to the plate with this one.
DEVION Smith, coming into this one, averaging 18 points per game. Nice little dump off to Caleb Murphy for 2.
He knows these rims well. He played here last year with Norcross.
Caleb Murphy is familiar with the House of Blues.
12-4 our score, 3:36 to play first quarter.
One of the things that's interesting about this game right now is the fact that Sharif is taking one shot in over 4 minutes of play.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Which is unusual because he is the key to their offense.
He has the basketball now. He's the Auburn commit. Couple of left-handed dribbles. Drives to the basket. Murphy knocks it out of bounds, so McEachern will retain possession. He's had a couple of big scoring nights during the season. Had a 50-point performance a little earlier this year, as well as a 42-point performance.
He's able to walk to the basket almost. He's really creative with the handle. He's really creative finishing with either hand. So he's a handful in regards to getting to the basket, stopping from getting to the basket. And this year he's been hitting the three-pointer from distance a little bit more consistently.
And I think we have our very first shot clock violation of the night. And that's a subject right there. Go ahead, Horace. What were you going to say?
I love the shot clock.
Me too.
So it's been in play. It's been in play in the Hawks-Naismith here. Was that at Pace?
Yes.
We've had one or two other events where we've had the shot clock. And it really hasn't affected the game from the standpoint of teams being running out of time to score the ball.
Yes.
But I think it's important because you're trying to get these kids ready. Georgia has, and Mark knows this as well as I do, Georgia has a lot of elite level players. A lot of players that are playing college ball at the next level. There's probably 8 on the court right now. And I think the kids need to get ready to play at that level. I think the shot clock does that.
Cooper nowhere to go. Now he'll kick it off. Three-handed three-point shot there by Cameron McDowell. He's got 5 points, 5 of his team's 7. His team trails by 5, 12-7 to score.
I think Sharif Cooper, when he goes to college, is going to be one of the top assist men in the country because he has an amazing ability to keep his dribble, keep the ball alive, and look for teammates. That was just one perfect example of it.
Tenari Lane scores on the other end. He's got 8 points. He leads all scorers early. 14-7 is our score.
Where's Tenari going? Is he going to Wofford or Winthrop? Which school is he going to?
Winthrop.
Man, I tell you, they got them a steal, man.
Yeah, he's a steal.
I mean, because he's going to have one hell of a career at Winthrop.
He's a steal.
It's just the right fit for him.
He's got a college-ready body.
Yes.
He's shooting the ball. That's always the big thing. We always talk about that, Horace, is the ability to shoot the basketball.
Smith clears on the rebound, back the other way for Grayson. Murphy goes baseline and lays it up and in. Caleb Murphy. He's got 4.
Grayson is looking real sharp right now. They get what they want when they want it.
They're running their sets, which is something that I hadn't seen them do before. They look kind of out of sorts the last couple of times I saw them play, but they're running their sets and they're definitely getting shots they want.
And they don't look as cool as I've seen them in the past. Yeah. Sometimes these teams come in, my thought process about Grayson, sometimes they walk into the gym a little too cool. I think they're stepping it up tonight right now.
In talking to Mike Thompson before the game, McEachern coach, I asked him if this ever gets old, and he said, no, it doesn't, quite frankly. They ran the table last year, perfect 33-0. It didn't go to the Gecko tournament. How surprised were you guys at that?
I wasn't surprised. Just, from the inside looking out, I felt like they played the roughest schedule in high school basketball last year. They went to every top tournament. They beat every top team. So, in my estimation, they were like, well, we've done everything. We won the state of Georgia. We won all these elite events. There's nothing else for us to prove. And, they wanted to get their guys ready for next-level basketball. So that's the excuse they gave. Not necessarily it was an excuse. That was just their reasoning behind it. So, I mean, you got to respect it.
Reason.
How about these 3 words? Speaking of threes, going up and missing was Cameron McDowell. How about these 3 words? Madison Square Garden.
Well, they moved it. They let them play Madison Square Garden anymore. They finished it up at Christ the King.
Nice.
So I mean, but still, the trip to New York is something I know they were looking for the prior couple of years. So for them to turn it down, I think they had to have had a good reason not to want to go.
And I'm sure that's a question that played on everyone's mind. I mean, you run the table 33-0, quite a significant accomplishment.
Then also Sharif Cooper was kind of getting ready for USA. So it was right around the same time. He would have had to have played in New York and then left, then tried to come back. The scheduling was all kind of off, and I know Sharif really wanted to make Team USA. So, I mean, I think their reasoning behind it was valid.
No
they
doubt.
didn't duck anyone during the season, so I don't understand why they would duck them now.
Yeah, they played a pretty elite schedule throughout the year.
What I'm more impressed with also, guys, is that their ability to reload this year after losing so many players from last year's squad.
Well, it would be interesting if they had Dylan Cardwell. They would even be a better team than what we've seen so far this year. That's a big difference to them, someone that they counted on, in addition to the kid that committed to Mercer, the guard. I think McEachern would even be a much better team than what we're seeing right now. Not playing well now. They're down 10, a minute to go in the first quarter, but this is going to be a battle throughout.
That last foul went to number 3, Josh Smith of Grayson. That's his first personal. And now we have a stoppage in play. Sharif Cooper just hit the back end of his free throws, so he gets on the board with his first point. And now they're going to reset the shot clock. And in talking to the referees before the game, Jack Hudson, J.T. Turner, and Regis Young, they said there ain't going to be no tic-tac fouls out here today.
That could play well into, McEachern's hands if it's a close game towards the end.
Going up with the reverse layup, good is Josh Smith. Smith has 4 points, and 20-8 our score with 35 seconds to play. In the first quarter, you're watching the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. Cooper drives but can't get the basketball to fall. Here comes Smith. Smith gliding, drifting, shooting, scoring!
Amazing shot. Amazing shot.
He's one of the most explosive guards in the state.
I think in the country.
Yeah.
You look at his size, the way he takes off.
His explosiveness.
And he's explosive everywhere he plays. Played on Adidas Gauntlet this year and was taken off. They beat a bunch of top teams. Beat some EYBL teams in their non-league schedule time. So he's the truth.
I've been fortunate enough to watch that kid play since he was around in the 5th grade, and he's always been that good. He kind of disappeared on the scene, at least for me. But over the last 2 or 3 years, he's come back, and he's shown his ability day in and day out.
20 seconds remaining in the first quarter, 22-8 the score. Grayson in the lead. Going up and scoring is number 4, Jens Ruckert. 22-10 to score, 6 seconds to play. Murphy gliding. Oh, beautiful layoff glass, good. He's got 6, and his team leads by 14 after 1 quarter of play.
Tough shot.
When we come back, we'll have a second quarter action for you. You're watching the 2019 Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on the SUV TV.
Scholarships program. Kim Nugent will donate $1 for every point scored during the Holiday Classic.
This SUV TV broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic is brought to you by Atlanta Tip-Off Club, Nike, Ruth Nathans, Dribble Bridge, the Oaks Course, and CBA Sports.
And welcome back. Second quarter action underway. You're watching the 2019 Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic, where Grayson leads it by 14, 24-10. They lead by a couple of touchdowns. Dwayne Walker along with Mark Edwards and Horace Naismith bringing you the action. Couple of first quarter summaries, guys. Mark, I'll let you go ahead.
Grayson is getting whatever they want right now.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
They're going to call the trap. Yeah.
Yeah, a little sugar on
Yeah,
that one.
you know. LeBron
like
James
that.
and
Let's take a look at it, though.
James Harden ain't in the building today.
Let's analyze
But
it.
hey.
Let's see. Behind
One,
one,
two,
two,
three.
three. Oh, yeah, all day long. Hey, but they're buzzing.
Assist by Cooper. Basket
Cameron
number
McDowell scores another 2. He's got 7 to lead McEachern. They trail it by a dozen, 24-12. Back to that first quarter of action.
Sharif Cooper's 0 for 4 from the field right now. You're not going to see that for much longer. I think it's a strategy for him not to, get too aggressive early in the game. He's going to have his energy, and once he starts penetrating in the second half or late in the first half, things are going to change. So right now the game is still close. It's a 14-point game, but it's still kind of close to me. It's too early.
Taj Kelly, number 10, just checked in for Grayson. He just scored on the opposite end to extend the Rams' lead to 26-12. 6 minutes and 54 seconds to play. At the free throw line, number 24, Devontae Brady. He's a newcomer to the scene for the McEachern Indians as well.
Yeah, Brady coming in from Nashville, Tennessee, just transferred into McEachern.
Brentwood, I want to say.
Yeah, Brentwood Academy. I think he adds a scoring ability for them, and he adds a kid that actually plays the game the right way. So I think it's important for them to have him on the floor, and he's done a really good job this year. Speaking of Sharif Cooper, I think Sharif is actually taking on right now, early in the game, more of a facilitator for McEachern than the scorer. He's not really looking to score as much as he's looking to get everybody else involved.
And he'll know when it's go time as
he
the
always
game
does,
proceeds.
right?
Cooper with the basketball now. In the corner. Now we'll stop and go. Baseline goes up. Leaves it just short. Here comes Smith moving left to right. Little spin move. Now between the legs. He'll stop from 16, and he'll nail it. Caleb Murphy, he's got 8 points. His team leads 28-13.
That was great patience on his part. He didn't rush it. He attacked, pulled it back out, and then re-attacked.
Cameron McDowell nails a number 3. He's in double digits with 10 points, and Coach Pierce, he wants to talk about it. He wants to take a quick 30-second timeout.
I think it's a strategy by Sharif Cooper to get Cam McDowell involved early. Because like I said, I've seen him disappear in some games. So to get him with 10 early points, that's great for them. Because we know Sharif is going to come alive when it's time.
And on the other side, how about Caleb Murphy along with D. Smith? These kids play with such pace. You know what I'm saying? Like they play within the flow of the game. They're not too excited, not too down, and they have like an edge about them as they move.
Well, I agree. I think Caleb Murphy's gotten a lot better with it. He's doing a lot more, less. That's important. Game is about efficiency. I think he's doing a better job at that. DEVION has always done that.
You got great seats.
But one of the things Grayson got to be careful about is, if you're going to put these dudes away, you need to put them away, because keeping McEachern around and in striking distance is not good. Not when you have Sharif Cooper on your team.
DEVION Smith will pull up again, this time short, but has the tenacity to follow his own shot for 2. He's got 4, 30-16 the score.
Mississippi State is getting them a battle cat with him.
Most players in that instance would have shot that ball, it fell short, and would have stood there and watched. He actively went and grabbed the basketball. Alley-oop to McDowell, just out of his outstretched arms, out of bounds. Caleb Murphy will check him to the ball game along with Tanari Lane, number 22.
Yeah, that pass was a little bit too hot. A little too high for Cameron to handle.
Now McEachern will pick up the place with a 1-2-2 full court trap. Let's see how Grayson handles it. We are playing with a 30-second shot clock. For the first time in state history, was introduced last month at the Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic, to the delight of, I'm sure, just about everyone.
I love it. You know, why not? You got it in 8, 10 other parts of the country. Why not have the shot clock?
Who wants to see somebody stall the basketball for a minute at the end of the game?
No, I don't. Mark, what about you, man? I know I don't want to see that.
I can't. Just have
I'd
those
rather watch paint
conversations.
dry.
Caleb Murphy scores on the out-of-bounds pass. He's got 10.
They've got to get some better defensive rotation on McEachern. I guess that's what Mike Thompson's been talking about.
Yeah, no doubt. Says they need to improve on the defensive side of the floor. That foul went to number 10 for McEachern. Bobby Moore, that's his first personal foul.
I talked about Bobby Moore as being an X factor. That's the first time I think we've actually said Bobby Moore's name. He has got to be able to do more in this game for them to win this game.
Yeah, he's got to get 10 points, 10 rebounds.
Got to
for
do
them
it. No question.
32-16 the score with 4:51 to play.
They've been doubled.
Still early, however, second quarter action. C.J. Dixon now in the game for Grayson. Murphy calling for the basketball along the right. 5-second count is on. Now it's broken. Murphy now looking for a pick from Shefflin. He gets it. Goes between the legs. Looking to work one-on-one. Stop. Shefflin offensive rebound. He's going to get hacked on the arm. Looked like number 5, Braden Sparks caught him.
If Caleb Murphy is able to really fix that jump shot, he'll have an opportunity to play at the next level.
Well, you know, his ability to change speeds and change directions, there's some next level stuff that he has at an early age. So I would agree with that.
His athletic ability is off the charts. Jumps off one or two. Has a good feel, with the basketball, know how to, create space. He could be special.
Ian Shefflin misses that free throw, but he comes back and makes this nice defensive block on the play. Open look by McDowell. Yeah. Wait, did it go? Yes, it did go in. That was a little James Harden right there. I didn't know if the ball actually went in the basket.
Hey, if not for Cameron McDowell, they may be down about 20 right now.
Fellas, McDowell has 13 points in the first half. He's leading the charge, leading all scorers.
Yeah, I've never seen Sharif have this little
Well,
amount of
what
points.
I've seen out of Sharif is really, like I said earlier, just really trying to be more of a facilitator than a scorer.
Devon goes up and connects. Devon Smith, he's got 6 points, and it's 34-19. Sharif Cooper with the basketball. Up to Sparks. Sparks driving in the lane. Brady, airmail. McDowell with the rebound. Nice little give going up to Sparks, but it's blocked out of there. Here comes Devon Smith. Smith working against Cooper. Driving towards the basket. Now he'll hold it up. Never understood why players jump up in the air when they're not in a position to score the basketball.
Undecided as to what they want to do.
Ill-advised, though.
Yes, no doubt.
Murphy in the lane. Now he'll find an open man. That's C.J. Dixon. C.J. Dixon doesn't get the roll, but Murphy comes up with the offensive rebound. A fresh 30. And now we're going to have a foul at the apex. It may have been number 10 on the play, Bobby Moore. And if that's on Bobby Moore, it is. That's his second personal foul. And that's the 15th foul assessed against McEachern.
We've got to get somebody on McEachern's team to take
rebound
a charge.
the basketball?
Oh, no. Do the small things. Be the glue guy. Somebody take a charge. Somebody rebound the basketball on the defensive end.
Right.
We're not asking for the offense. We're talking about defensive
They're giving up way too many offensive rebounds to Grayson right now. They're not checking bodies.
Caleb Murphy connects on the second attempt. So 36-19 the score, under 3 minutes to play. You're watching the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on the SUV TV at Norcross High School. Dwayne Walker, Mark Edwards, and Horace Naismith. Up and in goes McDowell. And McDowell, he's got 15 points in the first half. And fellas, the way I look at it, what would be the difference if Sharif Cooper had 15 points and McDowell only had 1 point? At the end of the day, it is all about.
We need McDowell. They need McDowell to give them something.
Yes, which he has.
Too many games. Well, we know Sharif is going to turn it on. If Sharif doesn't turn on the second half, either he's sick or just something else is going on. Because he's a bucket.
On the turnover, here comes Sharif. Let's see if he takes it 3-on-2. Lane gets in front of him, and they're going to call that incidental contact, and Sharif wants to find out why there was no call. On talking to the referees before the game, and ain't going to be no ticky-tack fouls.
Hey, when you got big boys playing, ain't no ticky-tack fouls. You got to get at it.
Under 2 minutes to play, 36-21. Davon Smith will give it to Shefflin. Looking down inside the lane. They'll work the basketball around. There's Shefflin posting up again against Brady. Left-handed dribble. Now they'll kick it out the lane, who has a couple of three-pointers. Long rib net. Look at how he exploded up. He jumped straight up in the air, did Smith. And now the floater in the lane. It's good. Davon Smith.
Who's number one for McEachern? He didn't put a body on Davon. Got to be able to put bodies on dudes.
Christian Willis, who just checked in. Look at that rebound. Here he comes again. Davon Smith to Josh Smith to Q. They'll swing it around.
Nice patience.
Shefflin working against Moore. In the lane, goes up and he scores against Moore.
First of all, you can't let him get positioned that deep in the paint. That makes no sense at all. You got to fight over that. Make them throw the ball over you.
Shefflin's got 6. Cooper in the lane. And there's a scramble for it. Both teams aggressively going after it. Brady is in it. Got to get out of the lane, and they're going to call a traveling violation. So they are letting them play.
No doubt. And I think Grayson right now, as we speak about this first half, they wanted a whole lot more than McEachern does.
Yeah.
Now, Grayson, they do have some motivation. They're coming off a loss earlier this week to Newton County.
Yeah,
How about that in a game in which Caleb Bird showed out at the end of the game?
One of the more unsung hoopers in the state of Georgia is Caleb
Didn't he lead the state in scoring
Bird.
last year?
Yes, he did.
No.
He can get a basket when he wants, how he wants it.
Wait a minute,
Georgia Southern is getting one heck of a ball player.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me he's the leading scorer in the state?
Last year.
Last year? I'm saying last year.
Yes.
And he hardly gets any pub?
Hey, man.
Sounds familiar.
Georgia Southern got them some got a steal. No question.
Yeah, they robbed somebody.
Yeah.
All right, so a little sweat spot that they wiped up, and now play will resume. 44 ticks of the clock remaining in the first half. 40-21 the score. Grayson has been in full control of this basketball game from the opening tip.
McEachern defensively has got to step it up. They're allowing Grayson just running whatever offense they want to run at this point.
They'll look for Shefflin inside again, working against Moore. Now Shefflin will try to set the pick. Davon Smith goes up, goes off glass. Good. Davon Smith.
Somebody's got to step up.
Too easy.
Somebody.
Too easy.
This is not McEachern basketball.
Bobby Moore underneath the basket. He goes off glass. Good.
Okay.
8 seconds left.
We have a Bobby Moore sighting. I like that.
First 2 points
we need
of the
more
game.
of that.
Now stolen away. 1 second left. Lane shoots it. No. That shot attempt would not have counted if it had fallen. So that brings us at half with the score. The Grayson Rams 42, the McEachern Indians 23. We'll be back with our halftime in just a moment. You're watching the 2019 Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on the SUV TV.
This SUV TV broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic is brought to you by Atlanta Tip-Off Club, Nike, Ruth Nathans, Dribble Bridge, the Oaks Course, and CBA Sports.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, inside the historic House of Blues here at Norcross High School campus. We get a halftime score, Grayson 42 and McEachern 23. We're joined now by Hawks-Naismith and David Dickerson. Anybody want to buy back their McEachern pregame prediction right now?
Well, I tell you, I mentioned Bobby Moore early.
Yeah.
Bobby Moore's name's only been mentioned one time throughout this first half. They need a lot more out of Bobby Moore in order to win this basketball game. Cameron McDowell is doing his thing. I think Sharif Cooper is being more of a facilitator than a scorer right now. They're going to need a lot more out of him in the first half to get back in this game.
No one saw Sharif Cooper going 0 for the field in this first half.
Well, I'm watching Sharif, and he's doing things that he doesn't normally do. When he did attack the basket, he's attacking 3 or 4 guys that are collapsing on him. Not a successful route to being able to score the ball. Did anybody predict out in front that they would be down by 20 at the half? Probably not.
No.
We thought a key for Grayson would be get out to a fast start. Well, they got out to a 10-4 lead, a 16-7 lead, a 24-10 lead. They didn't get out to a fast start. They played a complete first half.
Well, the tempo right now is towards Grayson. They're not doing a good job. McEachern is keeping Grayson off the offensive glass. They got way too many offensive rebounds. And right now, they started the game off with Tenari Lane knocking down shots. Caleb Murphy and Davon Smith throughout the first half have really been very effective.
Davon Smith had a great first half, a great and one highlight he's had for Grayson. But to me, it seems that McEachern is being fueled offensively or lack of offensively, and it's affected them on the defensive end of the floor. They're struggling offensively, and it's showing up on the other end of the floor.
Well, Harsh just mentioned the name, and the key name is Caleb Murphy. Caleb has stayed in front of Sharif Cooper this whole first half. He's made it very difficult for him to score, and then on the other end, he's been athletic, and he's gone to the basket and scored himself. He's been the X factor this first half.
Cameron McDowell is keeping McEachern in this contest. He's got 15 in the first half. If it wasn't for this effort, all the people in here would be headed to the door and headed outside.
We've seen that out of Cameron McDowell. We know what he can do, and that's why he wasn't really my X factor, because I think he's been consistent in doing that throughout the season, and that's why Bobby Moore was so important. They got to get Bobby Moore involved, and Sharif has to turn on his offensive mindset and not his facilitating mindset.
Let's get inside that halftime locker room. Two very veteran coaches. You haven't seen their blood pressure skyrocket here, even amongst all the pressure and the excitement. Very cool, calm, collective on both these benches. What's some of the things they're saying to their players here in this first half?
Well, Coach Thompson, that's pretty much has been his MO and his demeanor over the years. But he's got to be panicked right now. They played last night, and I understand they kind of went half throttle last night. I don't know what to tell them. They've got to push the tempo. They got to take smarter shots. Everything that they've taken has been challenged. How about a wide open jump shot? How about creating some separation? Defensively, I'm a big component of they can change things if they do a little full 90, a little trapping. They've got to do something to maybe turn over Grayson a little bit, because Grayson is cruising right now.
It's clear McEachern can get to the rack, but they're just simply not finishing.
They're not finishing, and they're not keeping Grayson off the offensive glass. Shefflin has been key on the offensive glass for Grayson. They got to keep him on the offensive glass. Give up one shot as opposed to 2-3 shots per possession.
Let's put some pressure on Mr. Cooper. How many points does he have to have in this second half for them to win?
He's got to get 25.
What's this?
How many points does Cooper have to have in the second half?
He's got to step it up.
How many? They're down.
He's got to get 20, 25, maybe 30. Now, guess what? He's capable.
Sure, that's all.
He's capable.
We've seen him stroke. We've seen him go back to back. He can do it.
I was joking at the start of the halftime here. Does anybody want to trade in their McEachern pick? But I don't think anyone's counting out McEachern even down 19.
I would never count McEachern out. With Sharif Cooper on that team, I would never count him out.
Yeah, he's that kind of player that you don't bet against him.
No.
And how many times have we seen McEachern play a little lackluster in the first half and normally pull away from opponents? They can still have that performance in the second half to get back in this ball game.
Well, if I'm coach, too many times. If I'm coach.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be difficult for them, but again, they got to change what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they've just been cruising tonight.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have the whole second half coverage for you here between McEachern and Grayson here at the 3rd annual Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. Thanks for watching on SUV TV. We want to thank our sponsors, Nike, Atlanta Hawks, Ken Nugent, Ruth Nathan, and of course, CBA Sports. That'll do it for us. We'll talk it back over to the guys here for the second half between McEachern and Grayson right here on SUV TV.
This SUV TV broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic is brought to you by Atlanta Tip-Off Club, Nike, Ruth Nathan's, Dribble Bridge, the Oaks Course, and CBA Sports.
And welcome back, everyone. Second half action underway here at the Hawks-Naismith with our score, Grayson 42, McEachern 23. Dwayne Walker along with Mark Edwards and Hawks-Naismith, And Mark, what do you think was discussed in that McEachern locker room by Coach Thompson?
They need Sharif Cooper to be a little bit more aggressive. He normally gets a lot of foul calls going to the basket. The referees letting him play today, so he's going to have to
adjust,
make the adjustment, be more aggressive offensively like that, which he's been shooting the three-point ball a lot better this year. Cam McDowell has stepped up. We also need Bobby Moore, number 10, from McEachern, to do a lot more, do the glue work that he normally does, with the rebounding, taking some charges, some defensive rebounds, and as a whole, McEachern, they've got to shut it down on defense. They're not doing their job on defense.
Moore came up with that steal. Cooper had his shot blocked. Here comes DEVION.
Don't jump. Don't jump.
Oh, no good. Murphy with the offensive rebound goes up and scores. Caleb Murphy.
He might have took off a little too far. I'm not sure. I think he was, I don't know. Maybe he heard footsteps. I'm not sure. Usually that's a dunk he makes all day long.
Maybe you distracted him when you said, oh, no. Little no-look pass down inside the number 0, Israel Palmer, who couldn't handle the hot potato. The 6'3" senior. So, McEachern has come out in the early stages at least. Cooper connects on a three-point basket. They come up with a steal, and it's 44-26. Shefflin inside. Gets his own rebound. He'll kick it out. Josh Smith.
Shefflin has been the X factor for them today. He's getting a lot of offensive rebounds, playing some great defense, blocking shots.
Out of bounds.
He's playing a great role today for them.
Josh Smith tried to pickpocket the McEachern player on the far side of the basketball court. And they will inbound in front of the Grayson bench. Coach Jeffrey Pierce has been there 9 years. He played at Central Gwinnett High School. He was a region champion as a player. Stop and go by Sharif. He'll dump it down inside of number 4, Jens Rucker, who loses his balance out of bounds. And there's going to be a timeout call. Coach Thompson wants to talk about it. And why don't we take this quick timeout, too, with our score. Grayson 44, McEachern 26. You're watching the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on the SUV TV. Brady will trigger the basketball. Devontae Brady for the McEachern Indians, who have dug themselves into a big hole. They trail 44-26. Cooper trying to launch his second three-point basket of the game, and he does just that. Calm, cool, collective, and just like that, he's got 7 points after scoring just 1 in the first half of play.
Sharif Cooper, the most decorated player in the state of Georgia basketball history.
Shefflin with an outside three, no. Rebound by Cooper. Here he comes down the middle of the floor. Nice little bounce pass. Going up and scoring is number 4, Jens Rucker. Give Cooper the assist. He had 5 assists in the first half as a facilitator. Add 1 to the journal. He's got a half dozen. 44-31 the score. In the corner, Josh Smith for Grayson. Short-rimmed it.
They've got to get those loose balls.
Devon Smith to Shefflin, who tried to dunk. Murphy with a head fake goes off glass. No, but we have a 2-shot foul coming up as number 3, Cameron McDowell, caught him on the wrist for his first personal foul of the game.
Grayson is taking this game personally. They're taking this game personally. They lost to Newton not too long ago, a few days ago. They do not want to go with back-to-back losses.
And in talking to Coach Pierce about that loss, he said it's not so much that they lost, it's how they lost. They weren't able to close the deal. They had a 44-34 halftime lead in that particular game, but that Caleb Bird for Newton was outstanding as he led the comeback charge. Ball out of bounds on the far side. It's going to be ruled Grayson basketball.
McEachern being careless, they got to value these possessions. They've got to value these possessions.
Turnovers played a part in the first half of play. McEachern turned the basketball over 8 times. On the other side, Grayson committed just 4 turnovers. What body control there by Sharif Cooper. And he's got 9, including 8 in the second half. So he's starting to get on track for sure.
Yeah, he's a guaranteed bucket now. It's just a matter of when he wants to turn it on.
Murphy, what body control, but that basketball is deflected out of bounds. Grayson will retain possession.
McEachern has got to get somebody to step into those lanes and just simply take a charge. If I'm Coach Thompson, I'm having them do charging drills at the next practice until somebody gets it.
McEachern, they've cut into that halftime deficit. They've outscored Grayson 10-3 in the second half of play. And Sharif Cooper has 8 of those points.
Just one time somebody stated, sit in there and take a charge. Just one time instead of trying to block shots. They're not blocking Caleb Murphy's shot.
And Caleb Murphy has 15 points in the game. Going up, no. That was McDowell. Shefflin clears. Tried to get it out to Murphy, but Brady was there to answer. The transfer out of Brentwood, and there's going to be a foul on Caleb Murphy, who lays on the ground, spread wide open.
Pause.
Caleb Murphy, who is averaging this season 16 points a game. He did, however, miss a game because of a hand injury. Saw him play against Milton at one of the earlier classics. And
yeah, that affected him. I saw that game. That affected him big time.
Open look for McDowell. Takes a dribble in.
He's got to make that. One dribble pull up. Got to make that.
Lane grabs that rebound. Lane has scored 8 points in the game. 47-33 is our score. You're watching the third annual Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on VSUV TV. Dwayne Walker along with Horace Naismith and Mark Edwards. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Davon Smith. No. Bobby Moore with the rebound to Cooper. Cooper challenging Lane, goes up and he scores. So Sharif Cooper is heating up like a microwave oven. He's got 11 points, 10 of them in this third quarter alone. There's a timeout on the floor. How do we keep it right here?
I think Grayson's got to be real careful. But like we said, McEachern has the ability to score a bunch of points in a short period of time. And they have to be really careful not to let this game, they have control of it, they can't let control go. So they got to be real patient on offense. They're pushing tempo, but they got to be smart about it.
And I know earlier, fellas, you were talking about how how Sharif, didn't get so much on the scoring column. He struggled, was 0 of 7 in the first, and didn't make his free throws. However, in this second half of play, knowing when to take control, knowing when it's go time, and obviously he's picked up on the pace in the second half to his credit.
I think that's senior leadership. In the past, he's had a tight group of guys around him, guys who are great ahead of him, and he can kind of blend in and just blend in and just score at will. Now he's kind of trying to lead these younger players, inexperienced players. So he's got to take on the role of facilitator early on. 5 assists in the first half, like you said. And now he's saying, okay, let me catch this lead up. I got my guys into it. I just need them to make some small plays. They got to take some charges. Grayson was able to drive the entire lane and get right to the cup with no problem. They've got to take a charge.
47-35. There's a steal. And now the ball's turned over. Tanari Lane with the jam.
Can't have those turnovers.
Tanari Lane.
That was great defense.
Tanari with 10
Bad
points.
Conversion.
10 points in the game. 49-35 the score. Nice little no look. Down low, traveling is Jens Rucker. And that's another turnover.
That kid jumps too high to not just go straight up and lay that ball in.
He's a 6'4 junior forward. Davon Smith in control of the ball. He's got 12 points in the game. Lane with a turnaround, Jay Good. Tanari Lane, he's got 12 points.
I like to call it the mid-range layup. That's a layup for that kid.
51-35.
Got to get him out of his comfort zone.
Here we go.
Oh, no.
Showtime.
Murphy,
Showtime.
up and away. Murphy.
Sharif Cooper that time, wow.
Caught him up in the spin cycle. He went up with it. No, Bobby Moore there. And there's going to be a foul. How about that?
Shefflin is playing an incredible role for Grayson today. Blocking shots. He's the X factor right now.
He's
blocking
doing all
shots,
the little things.
the rebounds, the loose balls, being physical. It's a contact sport. People forget that. This ain't golf.
Listen, Shefflin has 5 blocks already in the game. 4 in the first half,
And
1 here
he's
in
not
the
a
second.
shot blocker.
No.
But he's doing simple things like walling up. He was the primary defender on that. He got to the position, walled up. Sharif can make contact with him. He just kept his hand straight. The ball went right to his hand.
Never swatted at the ball at all.
Puts himself in great position defensively.
53-36, now 53-37 as Bobby Moore connects, and he is trying to get going here in this game. We're under 2 minutes to play, 1:37 and counting. Driving and putting that one up, no good, and following is Shefflin. Now Lane, no, another offensive rebound.
Killing him. Got to keep him off the glass.
Josh Smith will give it up to MacArthur. MacArthur leads them.
Caden MacArthur.
He's on the board.
I forgot about that kid. Not a bad player. Sophomore, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll be taking over next year.
Was that a 2 or a 3?
That was a 2.
That's 2.
His first 2 of the game. Moore down underneath. And there's, just when you were complimenting Shefflin, he could have just stood up in the air right there instead he swatted at the basketball.
One mistake he's made. He got a little anxious on that.
Poor Shefflin.
Typically, you're looking for the 7-footer. Right now, they're looking for Shefflin.
He's causing them to shuffle their feet down low because he's doing a superlative job, like you said earlier, of just sticking those hands straight up. You called it, what'd you call it, building a wall? Did you call it wall framing?
Walling up.
Walling up. Okay. We have a substitution now. Josh Smith will check out of the game, and Q will check in, number 11.
We're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear that on Twitter.
Walling up.
Yeah, walling up.
Walling up.
Some years ago, you started using the word wiggle.
Hey, man.
And all of a sudden, everybody started using it. I said, wait a minute.
If you can give it to him, you give it to him.
Yeah, I'm giving it to him. You know, we adding to the culture, adding to the lexicon of the culture.
That's it.
Caleb Murphy has the basketball. We're under a minute to play now. He goes up, hangs in the air, and gets a roll. How about it for Caleb Murphy as he continues to shine?
I'm impressed.
19 points in the game.
One of the things I like about that move, they didn't waste a lot of dribbles.
I'm impressed. I was a big critic of Caleb last year. I felt like he over-dribbled a lot.
Yes.
Too many dribbles, too many times. Now he's being really efficient. He understands time and space, and he has the athletic ability to just jump over you at will. So I'm really impressed right now. It's hard to impress me.
He's got 20 points in the contest as Sharif Cooper answers on the other end of the floor. He's got 13 points now. Lane in the corner. Scoop by Q to Murphy going up off glass. Good for 22. 22 points in this game.
Randy Beatty is a no-show today. I'm going to say it. He's a no-show today. Those are the small things we need him to do. Grab an offensive rebound, secure the ball.
So you saying we got a bolo?
He's a bolo. Under bolo, no-show, bolo.
Be on the lookout.
I'm going to tell you what I hear other people. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, fellas. A full quarter and 16 seconds.
No. There's a lot of basketball played for McEachern to be played, yeah. They got to step up. Sharif is doing what he's supposed to do. The team, they've got to do the little thing. This is not a big thing. Look, somebody take one simple charge.
Murphy pulls up. And that will do it for 3 quarters of play. With our score, Grayson 60, McEachern 41. And before we go to break for the 4th quarter, we'll take this quick timeout. You're watching the 2019 Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on the SUV TV. We'll be right back. Fourth quarter action underway here at Norcross High School. Sharif Cooper with the steal. Back to Cooper, offensive foul. Hey, you're talking about somebody stepping in and taking the charge? DEVION Smith did just that right there.
I want McEachern to take a charge. I want somebody from McEachern to take a charge. On this play right here, you can't just jump straight up in the air. You've got to understand time and space. You've got to. Make that pass, jump to the side.
Now full court trap, and it causes a turnover.
Got to convert.
Oh, they mishandle the basketball. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Grayson
Randy
ball.
Brady.
Got to convert.
Did these guys stay up all night or something? I mean, what's going on? This is not the McEachern I know. Did these guys go? Was there a concert? Was Drake in town last night or something?
Could it be the hallowed halls of the
Norcross?
Norcross?
Nobody's scared of Norcross, man. No, you're pro Norcross.
Could it be the hallowed halls?
Just to be clear,
Or the Broom Crew?
when they first started doing this event, I said, is this Horace event? I said, because I know he's a Norcross booster almost. If you could be a high school booster, he'd be a high school booster for Norcross.
Caleb Murphy has boosted his point total up to 24 points. He leads all scorers. 62-41 is our score, and there he is again with the
Oh, he's
defensive
got to
rebound
make that
this time.
pass. Caleb
At
Murphy
Josh
has
Smith.
made me a believer. He has made me a believer. Don't do too much. Just keep it simple. Thank you. Thank you. They can't really hold the ball because of the 30-second shot clock, so
Which I
McEachern has got to step up. They can't just sit
Offensive
back.
rebound. Offensive rebound. That's killing them.
They're sitting back. They're not playing defense.
Josh Smith scores his 6th point of the game, and it's
Are we looking at the
64-41.
first loss from McEachern in the last year plus?
Yeah.
Wow. You put it into
And the
context
last
like
time
that.
they lost was in this building.
Wow, the House of Blues.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Brady on that steal.
You're too pro McEachern.
No, we just talking about the House of Blues.
Oh, God.
Cooper drives.
You know I'm
he
a
goes
fan.
up
I'm
You're
a
left
pro
hand.
Norcross.
I'm
No
a fan
call.
of
Pro
McEachern.
Norcross. No, you're pro Norcross. My fault.
Murphy whipping, weaving, laying. No, gets his own rebound. No, that was Tajay Kelly actually with the offensive rebound. But there again, a loose ball, and who's on the scene? The Grayson Rams.
Yes, sir.
You know, that just sank in when you said that McEachern has not lost a basketball game
In a
since
year plus.
2017.
A year plus.
And the last time they lost
Golly.
was in this building to Norcross.
Good pass.
Shefflin goes up, and he's going to get fouled.
I think we all miss Shefflin. He's actually been a very key component to this win right now. And I say this win, the game is not over. 6 minutes, they're now 19. Down 21, 22. But he's been a key part in this game so far.
No, this game is over. At this point, McEachern is trying to see if they can stop the bleeding a little bit.
66-43 after the 2 free throws by Shefflin. He's got 6 points to match his 6 blocks. Cooper down inside, and there's another block. Give him his 7th block
He
of the
pump
game.
faked into a shot block.
Here's
oh, no,
Uptown.
Smith,
Uptown.
up and away, my friend.
Uptown.
Kaboom!
Uptown.
He's one of the most explosive high school athletes in the country.
And that's
Hey.
just off the bounce.
He
All
comes
I'm
off
looking
one
for,
or
hold
two.
on a second. All I'm looking for is Shefflin right now to do the Dikembe Mutombo and start waving his finger,
Nah,
man.
I'm done.
He
I'm
done
leaving.
had 6 blocks.
I'm leaving.
Look at this. And Cooper challenged him on that.
Upstairs, man. What the kids are doing now, they're hitting their heads. They're hitting their heads talking about on his head.
Wow.
How the University of Georgia Tech let DEVION Smith get out of the state. Please, someone tell me.
Sharif Cooper connects. Cooper's got 14, 13 in the second half.
We do have friends at Mississippi State, don't we? We got friends at Mississippi State.
I don't know.
Yeah, we do. What's name's on the coaching staff?
I don't know.
You know, Atlanta Celtic guy on the coaching staff there. You know,
I don't know.
it's home cooking, man. It's home cooking.
I
Oh,
don't
now
know.
you want to defend?
5 seconds left
Good
on the
move
shot
right
clock,
there.
and there's going to
That's
be a
nice
foul.
move right there.
Timeout.
I love the way he turned
Yeah.
baseline on that. That's a
Timeout
nice
for
move
what?
by Tenari Lay. Tenari, I say it again, it's going to be a problem
At Winthrop.
at Winthrop.
Yeah, he'll get immediate playing time.
And you know what? You bring up a very good point. What is the adjustment like, fellas, when you have big-time high school athletes who completely rule the land on the high school landscape and get to the next level and find out they may not be in the starting lineup?
May not.
Hey,
Well,
I'm talking about reality.
Won't.
I don't know if anybody's ever done the study to find out how many freshmen actually start in Division I basketball.
Yeah, a lot of them won't.
I mean, I think
But
it's,
do they realize that?
it's probably less than 10%.
No, they don't.
But do they realize
they don't
that?
realize
No,
that.
because they're sold, hey, you're going to come in here, and if you work hard, you get a chance to play. Instead of, if you come here,
You'll
get
have a
some
chance to play
playing
eventually.
time. Yeah, eventually. It might take a year or two.
A lot of that depends on how they're raised in the whole process.
Wow, Shefflin showing some range from outside.
He's putting on the show.
He shot that like he was supposed to make it.
He's got 11 points. Cooper in the lane, going up against Shefflin, and there's a foul. Looks like Josh Smith may have gotten him. And Shefflin's looking like, no, let that go. I got that. Second personal foul on Ian Shefflin.
I'm shocked to see that Sharif Cooper really only has, 4 free throw attempts?
That's it.
That doesn't make
Typically,
sense.
he spends a lot of time at the free throw line.
Yeah. I mean, they've been allowed to beat him up this game. That's an adjustment Sharif's going to have to make when he goes to Auburn, because he's going to the big bad SEC where it's nothing but athletes there. So he's going to have to make that adjustment. That's why I feel like he'll be a great assist man when he gets to Auburn, because he's going to be able to draw a lot of attention with his ball handling, and he'll be able to make those finds.
Cooper has 16 points in the game. However, his team trails 72 to 47. It just doesn't even sound right saying. McEachern is down 72-47 to Grayson.
Well, you put together something, 16 points in Sharif Cooper. I haven't heard that since his sophomore year, so that's another thing I'm not used to hearing.
Shefflin battling in for the basket.
They
Look at him
haven't lost
diving
many
after the
games.
basketball.
If you look at Sharif's career as a high school basketball player, they've lost, 3 games? This may be their 4th?
They lost 1 game his freshman year. They lost 3 games his sophomore
So
year.
this will be
No
his
games.
5th game
Yeah, this will be his 5th loss in high
in
school.
4 years.
4 years.
Going
Wow.
on 4 years.
100 and something and 5.
And they're, and you know what? It's unfair, but it's life. You know, Sharif is playing without 2 of his better players. You know, 2 Division I athletes, which would have been on the team this year. They still haven't been cleared to play. But, you know, that's part of it. You know, you got to take the wins and the losses.
Well, let me just say this. I admire the young man for actually staying put, where we see in some cases kids might, take off or transfer to maybe a program that gets more, maybe hype, if you will.
Well, I mean, you can't get much more hype than these guys. They've been ranked in the top 5 in 4 straight years on a national level. So just the only reason, I don't know what else they can do. I don't know what other pub they can get. They've played national schedule. They've sent guys Division I, and they've done it all at the public school level. So, I give them kudos for that. And Sharif, this is, senior year. You get to.
I guess
be
what
the
I'm
man.
saying, staying at the same school for 4 years.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I'm saying.
That's
Staying at the same school for all 4 seasons.
That's the new thing, but I think it's a good thing because they were able to build a program at McEachern that didn't exist before.
Nice.
And you have to thank his father, Omar Cooper, and the ALT program. They developed a lot of these guys. A lot of these kids play with the ALT program.
Yes.
The team 3, that was the past 3 years, those are all kids that grew up together. He trained them, he developed them, and they won a national championship together.
There's a scrum with basketball, and they get to the floor.
They lost the first rounder, a future first rounder, Isaac Okoro. So for them to even be at this point where this is the first game they've lost this year, they're not playing without a big man. They expected to be a part of the team this year, Dylan Carterwell.
And the shooting guard.
And the shooting guard that committed to Mercer.
Mercer, right?
They've done a good job. I'm not counting them out. Those guys are going to be there at the end. McEachern's going to be there at the end.
Yeah. Only thing that's going to take a hit is their national ranking right now, but they'll be fine.
There's another block by Ian Shefflin. 8 blocks in the game. That's phenomenal. Maybe
Ian,
the single
somebody
best.
go down there and tell Ian to give me the fake. Give me the Matumbo, man.
He's having an out-of-body experience right now.
He is.
I've never seen him block shots before.
8 of them. Here he is again. You kind of have to fixate your eyes on him now.
He
Each
could
possession.
get a triple-double.
A block triple-double?
He could get a triple-double. Last person I saw do who's that? Oh, no.
Josh Smith
that
goes
pass.
up.
Get it up, Josh.
Make that pass.
Got to give it up, baby.
Lane
Showtime.
was across the
Look at
lane
the
waiting
crowd.
for that pass and didn't get it.
But look at the crowd. Look at
That's
the
what they
crowd.
wanna
It's
see.
showtime.
74-53 the score with 3:02 to play. You're watching the conclusion of this Grayson dominant performance over
It was a conclusion.
McEachern.
The end of the third quarter is the conclusion. This is the after party.
We got to keep hope alive.
It's the post game.
Keep hope alive.
It's the post game game.
And listen, for Coach Jeffrey Pierce, it is 9 years over there at Grayson. So check this out. He wants to make sure we shout out NG3. That organization spends a lot of time speaking to the youth over at Grayson High School, and he certainly appreciates that.
That's a beautiful thing.
I mean,
Anything to help the youth.
the reason McEachern lost is just very simple. They didn't put the brown thing in the round thing. That's all. You got to put that ball in the hole.
At the end of the day, right?
Yeah, at the
That's
end
simple.
of the day, man. Put the brown thing in the round
Hey,
thing.
that rhymes.
Hey, man, that's my slogan.
I thought your slogan was no duck season.
I got a lot of slogans.
Rabbit season, no duck season.
There's no duck. Well, Sharif Cooper, they didn't duck. They came out here. These guys played. They went head up. They guarded each other. I can't complain about that.
Tanari Lane working against that shot clock, hits a three-pointer. His
Tanari
third
Lane.
three-pointer of the game.
My man that's with the Houston Rockets right now. Tucker?
Yeah.
That's Tucker right
That's
there,
Tucker.
man.
PJ Tucker.
That's PJ
Wow,
Tucker right
nice.
there, man.
He's a corner specialist, is Tucker, for the Houston Rockets. Cooper in the lane. Nice little dish inside to Moore, who has been
Non-existent in this game.
missing.
Bolo, he's missing. He's the face on the back of a milk carton.
You know what? I still like his game. I think he's going to be a big part of this team. I know he's going to be a big part of this team, just not having his game today.
Randy Brady did not show up for them today. Let's point that out.
Well,
Maybe this is, let me ask you this. Could this be shock treatment to a guy like Brady coming over from Brentwood, Tennessee? Is there any comparison between Tennessee basketball and maybe Georgia basketball?
They played a big schedule. They played a big schedule, don't they?
Not last year. The year before when they had the Cavaliers.
Colin Sexton.
No, Garland.
Oh, okay.
Garland,
Oh,
okay,
he
yeah.
went to
Before
Tennessee.
that, yes.
Darius Garland.
Darius Garland.
Yes.
Darius went to Vanderbilt.
Correction.
Yeah.
Buck 50 to play, 79-57 to score. This is
Nice.
all academic. Shefflin touches the basket on the cylinder.
man.
It'll be no good.
We had a better look from up here. That was not goaltended.
It's a short ref.
That was not goaltended.
He said it's
short
a short ref.
with a small shirt.
Oh. Cooper drives in the lane and just standing there like a statue is Shefflin out of bounds, and McEachern will retain possession.
Knowing Sharif Cooper, he's probably going to go to the gym tonight.
For 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
no.
Here we go. Please don't jump.
no.
Don't jump.
Everybody
Don't
stands
jump
up at the same time and he slams. Oh, Davon Smith.
Don't
Oh,
We
my
put the
goodness.
icing on the cake.
Part
Is that
bunny
icing
rabbit.
on the cake?
That man is half bunny rabbit.
And a couple of candles
goodness.
as well.
Wow, they are buzzing up in here. Cooper gets it blocked by Shefflin, his
Again?
9th block of the game. He may end up with double digits
no
in blocks.
It's a minute left.
81-57. Davon in the corner.
Come on.
Lane.
Come on.
No. Shefflin bang! Ian Shefflin, the 6'7"
That was the
shooter.
icing on the cake.
Talk to me.
Oh, my Lord.
Talk nice to me. Ian Shefflin, talk nice to me. Ian Shefflin says, talk nice to me.
Hey, have a couple of scholarships been
Wow.
earned here today.
Wow. Grayson
Unbelievable.
fans
Shefflin
are in the
isn't waving
building.
the finger, but he is definitely celebrating his performance tonight.
Wow.
83-57, 26 seconds left in the game.
If college coaches are watching this game, this was his calling card game.
Lane, no. Shefflin with the offensive
rebound.
rebound. He throws it off of Cooper. And with 17.7 seconds to play,
How many block shots
will not
does
have
he
to take
have?
another shot. He's
9
got
block
9.
shots.
Unofficially 9.
9
He could
block
have 10.
shots. He should have 10
He
points.
could have 10.
I think he might have 10.
Let's give him 10.
We'll wait till the score sheet comes up. We need that score sheet.
Oh, no
The
doubt.
official. Did he get a
Triple
triple
double out of Ian Shefflin.
10 seconds remaining in the game. Lane goes between the legs, and they're just going to waste out the clock, and McEachern won't play any defense at all.
Wow.
Lane will dribble around.
Wow. Big win by Grayson. Big
What an
win.
impressive
Big win.
The
performance.
last time the feature loss was in this gym. Look at this. Let's see the replays. DEVION
Wow.
Smith, half man, half bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
Easy windmill right there for him.
Well,
He's like 5'7".
Easy windmill.
Well, from the 2019 Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic, with the final score, Grayson 83, McEachern 57.
Shout out Caleb Murphy, man. You made me a believer.
Come on, I've been telling you about Caleb Murphy for how long?
Hey,
Wow.
hey.
How long have I been telling you about him?
Hey, listen to me. I'm from that Show Me City. Not the Show Me State. I'm from the Show Me City.
Listen, Mark
Don't
Edwards.
talk me to death.
Listen, Mark Edwards, I got to give you credit, though, for going back and saying, hey, I got to give this young man his due.
Hey, Caleb Murphy, I'm a fan. Mark Edwards is a fan. You have showed me something. You showed me some pro potential that Mr. Hawks-Naismith has been talking about for the past 2 years, you know, that you possess, and I see it. I didn't think he'd be able to refine his game like he has, cut out the extra dribbling. He tried to do it a little bit at the end of the game, and he said, nah, he passed it off.
He's got that opportunity, man. He's got to keep working, keep doing what he do.
Yeah, if he can fix that jump shot a little bit, we're going to see him in that green room.
Well, we're trying to stall out. We're trying to see if we can get that stat sheet up here to find out how many blocks Shefflin did, in fact, have. Let's see. And before we go on, just a reminder that coming up next will be Tucker taking on the host, Norcross Blue Devils. Make sure you stick around for that here on the SUV TV.
They're about to retire Jody Meeks' uniform here in the Norcross gym. That's going to be something big.
All right, so that's it for now with the final score. Grayson 83, McEachern 57. For the first time since 2017, McEachern, they lose a ball game. That's the final for here. For my broadcast partners, Horace Naismith and Mark Edwards. We'll be back with more basketball. My name is Dwayne Walker, and you're watching the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here on the SUV TV.